Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing fantastically well. So today I want to take a quick look at Darwinex, really just give a brief overview of what it's about, what it can do for you, as well as detail the journey I've taken with them over the past 2 or 3 months. So before we get into all of that, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not already, hit the notification bell, and make sure you comment down below on if you're interested in Darwinex, what your thoughts are, as well as any other prop firms you want me to have a look at in the future. So I first became aware of Darwinex quite a while ago. It was actually through scrolling through Instagram, just popped up on my feed, had a quick look at it, but again, didn't know too much about it. Then I started seeing it pop over a lot of other YouTube videos and got me very, very curious. Did meet with somebody and they gave me recommendations. So I thought, okay, let's have a chat with the guys. Let's see how it actually works. And did a lot of investigation and thought, okay, this is something I want to look at because I've had a lot of problems with prop firms in the past where they've actually gone bust, not paid out. It's because these guys are fully regulated in the UK and in Spain, your money is protected, and therefore if they do go bust, you're going to get it back out of it. And because they are fully regulated, that basically means they are acting as a broker themselves. They're able to give access to a massive range of assets, as well as being able to provide a lot of best pricing. And if you do have any issues with it, you can obviously take it up with any of the regulatory bodies, and that way they are not going to be going any price fixing or any spiking to take anyone out of any trades. So to get an allocation and funding, you essentially need to go and create yourself a Darwin. Now that is actually a unique code to you, and that shows your entire portfolio and your trading performance. You don't get them straight away, you've got to go through a calibration phase, and essentially is 15 days worth of trading, as well as looking at some of the risk parameters around that one to make sure the account is fully viable and they can go and create that in the background. Once that's then created, you can then trade on a monthly basis, and if your score by their risk calculator is at a certain level, you will then get an allocation of money into your account, and based on your monthly performance, you then get a percentage of the actual profits. In reality, as compared to other prop firms, it is quite small. It is only 15% of the performance fees, but these do start to accumulate and build up, and they're paid out on a quarterly basis. Now, essentially what you are looking to do is not try and do a boom and bust. This is not a 1-month process to get funding and then take a massive profit. You are looking to get through all of the silver phase and get onto the gold phase where the allocations are a lot bigger and therefore your profits will be significantly increased. But when you do look at some of their top traders who have been around for a significant number of years, you can see they have tens of millions of dollars under management. So effectively, when you're looking at a 15% payout of that sort of fees, it can become quite significant and be a fantastic opportunity to make some great profits. So there are 2 paths to getting funding. First one to talk about is the Darwinex Zero. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to click on that and go and have a look at it. Essentially, it is working on a demo account. It's if you've got no trading record at all. You can go on this one with a demo account. It's a €100,000 account, I believe. And essentially what you can do is get access to the back-end platforms, build up your trading record. They can then go and create the Darwin and then give you access to the silver challenges, and therefore you can get the allocations after each month. There is a monthly subscription fee, but once you've got the allocation and you're getting the performance fees, that will be more than enough to cover what the actual monthly subscriptions are, and therefore you're able to still take a profit out of the account every single month. Again, reality check, the profits are not going to be massive. You're not going to be taking out $10,000, $20,000 every single month. It is that process, as I said before, is building up a reputation, building up a portfolio, and getting investors to come to you down on the long term. It might take 6 months, a year to be in a position where you're actually making significant profits. But for me, I think that's worthwhile because it does actually teach good practice, good risk management. And as we know, the years do pass very, very quickly. And before you know it, you start on this route and you can have significant amount of capital under your management very, very quickly. So for me personally, I went down the Darwinex Classic route, which essentially was putting in my own capital into their platform. You had to start off with a minimum of £1,000. I think it's also you can do it on €1,000 either way. It's not a massive actual startup fee. But the reason why I went down that route was that the actual money and profit I made on the account was still my money. It wasn't a case of it's virtual money, it's real money that I can withdraw at any time and obviously get that payment. As well as then looking at the performance fees coming in with the allocation of capital, I can then add that into the account every single quarter, and I can see much better compounding on the account very, very quickly. So we take a very, very quick look at the spreadsheet I've done. It shows how quickly the account can actually compound over a small number of months. So essentially I started off with a £1,000 capital. On the first month, it was only about 2 weeks into that month, I got a 2% return. Next month, the Darwin was created, did a 6% net return, and then got the allocation. And then I started to do 8% and then 10% to get another allocation on the month of August. So what I'm looking to do is potentially get performance fees of around about £500 on my first payout. That will then be added back into my actual live trading account. And then I'll only be looking to take sort of between 3 and 5% per month, which is still enough on the platform to get continued allocation. Then we can see very quickly that with the 90,000 euros, I will then be getting potentially £700 plus on a quarterly basis. Again, compound that back into the account, and before you know it, I've gone from a £1,000 account in excess of a £3,000 account in under a year. Those figures may not sound impressive, but if you were to ask anybody, if I were to take £1,000 with a minimal amount of effort and turn it to £3,000 in a year through trading, that is a significant return on investment, and I think it's definitely a worthwhile opportunity to take up with Darwinex and go down that route. So let's take a quick look at the platform, look at my Darwin, how that's actually progressed over the past couple of months, and look at the allocations and the performance fees to give a true indication of what can be achieved. So this is the start of the equity curve. Started in the middle of May, and I've had a few weeks to get the Darwin created, effectively having to trade for 15 performance days. So you can see the equity curve has gone up pretty well. Yes, there was a big drawdown in the middle. That was me trying a few things out to have a long-term running loss to see what actual risk management did. Now we see over the course of the months, May, June, July and August, the performance are actually not what I actually achieved on the account because there's an inbuilt risk management system. How things are actually perceived on the account, that's actually created based on a lot of parameters around your experience, risk management and correlation to the markets. Now my Darwin score this month is actually 85, therefore getting an allocation. And we can see the history over the past few months, I've actually performed quite well. And the allocation's given me a 30,000 euros, 30,000. Although this month's showing a 45,000, I think I'll be much further down the league table. Performance fees, not fantastic, but you can see that over the course of the past couple of months, £257 is expected to be paid out. But again, that's based on an original thing of only having a small allocation. So if you look at one of these traders on the gold allocation, we can see, yes, they've got a 6.8% return on a particular month. They've got 100,000 euros allocation, and their current allocation stands at 535,000. But historically, they've had over 1 million euros in allocation in total. So you can see how very quickly, although it's not massive returns, you can actually start to build big payouts with Darwinex. So for me, this has definitely been a worthwhile exercise trading with Darwinex. It's reaffirmed a lot of my risk parameters and my risk analysis, especially trading on a much smaller account. For me, it's actually been quite easy trading on a small account. Once you get used to the different lot sizes, it's actually been less stress and quite easy to do. You don't have to worry about the allocations in the background. That's all done automatically. All I have to do is look at my £1,000 account and trade that one on a regular basis and make sure I get effectively 3 to 5% return per month to start getting those performance fees and those allocations. And yes, definitely, it doesn't seem like a quick fix, but 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, when you've got millions of dollars under management, it's definitely going to be a worthwhile opportunity to go down with Darwinex, especially for me in my trading career. So that's been useful to everyone, and what I'll do is I'll follow up with more videos once I get additional allocations and I will get my performance fees paid out. I can move that back into my live account and start trading with that as well. Definitely have a look at it, check the link in the description below, and I'll come back with another video very soon. So thanks for watching, catch you again very soon. Cheers.